Hi everyone, I hope you all are having a wonderful time. Today I'm going to share my review of this new brand and my experience actually, this JC Acoustics UDP5 digital to analog converter with headphone amplifier stage built in as well as preamp buffer stage inside if you want to use it as a pre-deck. This one is featuring ESS9039 Q2M dual chip design, voice with FPGA chip. It has very impressive power supply for small unit, 30,000 microfarad capacitance as well as toroidal transformer. Very nice looking, impressive looking actually. The T section of heat sinks mounted on top of headphone amplifier stage, and that buffer area, so that is for the proper temperature control. So overall, inside of this unit, the build quality is pretty impressive for $750, and it looks more impressive than many $1,000 decks or pre-decks that currently selling. The chassis and everything is aluminum beside two sides and control knob. So two sides are made of plastic, control knob is made of plastic and black color, but the one on the website is probably a prototype that they didn't update it yet, or I have no idea. Build quality is very good on this UDP5 deck and headphone amplifier stage, exception of these knobs. These are plastic knobs and it feels a little plasticky. I like the design, but I don't like this knob at all. If you want to get into the menu, just hit this middle button. It will brighten up, and hit it again. It will take you to the menu. This is the 4 digital inputs, USB, coaxial, optical, and I2S inputs. And this one is filter setting. I'm only using standard filter option. Next one is outputs. You can do headphone output only and line out only, or both simultaneously. So this one is ESS9039Q2M. Oversampling option. You can do all the oversampling here. When I tried non-oversampling, I did not like it. It sounds too bright and no refined sound. And this is display brightness. You can change it here if you like, but there is more option there. Next one is balance. So that is very useful for the headphone listeners. You can adjust the balance, and deck channels swap, so that left and right you can swap it if you needed to. So those are the option, and factory reset. Very easy to use. I kind of like it. Only little downside is it doesn't come with the remote control or accessory. So this unit is sample unit, so I don't even have owner's manual yet. Only come with the power cable. Build quality, price, and features combined is very nice unit to audition for your system. It has sound character to it. It's not entirely transparent sounding deck for, in comparison to many Delta Sigma decks that I review. It has nice and immediate and dynamic kind of sound, as well as giving you non-ESS sound quality or sound signature kind of thing. Bass is deep and well pronounced with, I wouldn't call it rich, but it's pretty well pronounced deep bass quality that it can deliver, but not as rich or refined or smoothness to it like you're listening to AKM chip based decks kind of bass quality, but it has much better, deeper, and like more pronounced bass quality output than standard ESS chip based decks such as SMS SUX or Topping D93, those kind of decks. But in terms of bass quality, I kind of prefer SMS SU9 Ultra in terms of quality of the bass that it can produce out of the AKM chip based design. So bass quality is very decent and well define bass quality, but when it's come to separation and space between the notes, it's not to the level or how I would prefer hearing it, but it will get the job done and it will deliver nice and articulate bass for your music enjoy experience. If you go up on higher range of frequencies, mid-range and vocals and everything is nicely reproduced with slight forwardness in that region, particularly the upper range, upper mid-range, and lower highs regions are a little bit more forward and brighter side of sound signature. These comments are all based on using standard factory setting. So I did play around with it a little bit. I totally went to NOS mode, turning off all the oversampling, and it sounded a little brighter. And when I listened to like a few sounds and I did not enjoy it, so I went back to oversampling mode that deliver a little bit more refined and a little bit well controlled sound in overall frequency range. So even that overall sound signature is vivid, spacious, and dynamic with nice attack in all the frequency range. Plus, as always, those kind of decks will always give you brighter side of sound signature as well. That is a general, because based on that kind of character of the deck, it will totally do that when the music is bright or when the system is bright, right? When I'm using this JBL L100 Classic 75th, I find it to be not enjoyable for my taste. It's okay with a lot of music such as jazz or vocals or acoustics, but if you go to modern pops or even like slow rocks or those kind of tracks, it can be a bit tiring over time. For me, even this Pioneer TED S1E8 can sound tiny bit bright for my taste with those kind of music that is using with this Accuphase E4000. Oh, by the way, I'm trying this Custard Audio N18 network switch, so I will have my review up soon. Back to this UDP5. Sound signature is nice soundstage and depth is very good for ESS chip-based decks. Its sound is deeper than other ESS decks that I try regardless of the brand, because thanks to the FPGA chip tuning and programming that they try to make it deeper and like a wider soundscape and sound staging that it can produce. Stereo image is pretty decent, but not like a SMS or SUX kind of precision kind of stereo image, but it's there. Something like you are listening to like good sounding live venue kind of sound to it. Headphone amplifier stage, I tried with 3 different headphones, and I kind of like with the Sony MDR7506 for dynamic and refined sound. It doesn't work well with other headphones that I try. For me at least, I try 2 different cables, right? Single-ended and balance. I like balance sound a little bit more in terms of a noise control and a little bit better gain. Other than that, it's about the same. Sound quality is reflection of what I mentioned before. So when I tried it in my streaming setup, watching movies and streaming music with WeAmp Pro, using KLH Model 3 speaker, using this one as a pre-deck, connected to my subwoofer, as well as 500 watts Ice Power Class D monoblocks, SMS SHX preamp. When I'm pairing with SMS SHX with this UDP5 as a deck alone, it sounded nicer and more transparent sound to it. Extended highs and very nice soundscape and depth that it can produce. As I mentioned before, upper range and upper mid-range and mid-range area can get a bit bright. But when I'm watching movies or streaming Netflix, voices and dialogues, nuances, and everything is very well reproduced with realistic sound reproduction. When it's come to comparison, sound signature, it may not be my cup of tea, but compared to this one kind of remind me of Yulon Audio DAR to Aquila 2 or 3 kind of sound signature to it, and it has a similar circuit design as well. Probably it might be a same engineer or guy that probably work on these company components, so that's, I'm just assuming, but totally different, entirely different build quality compared to those Aquila 2 or those DAC. This one is a little bit more refined and less noise compared to them, at least in my system. Overall noise performance is pretty decent, but compared to SMS and SU9 Ultra or other DACs, this one background is not as dark or not as clean as that I experience. Even like SMS and SU9 Ultra will get the job done better in that regard. In terms of price, performance, and build quality, it's just about right. And sound quality is subjective, so if you have very transparent sounding or brighter side of sounding system, this one may not work. But if you have rich and laid back sounding system, if you want to open it up and get a little bit more dynamic sounding DAC, this one may work great because you can play around with filter setting inside and oversampling as well. If you need one component, do it all, use it as a pre-DAC and or headphone amplifier. This one is one must audition in my opinion. So that's it, my friend. That is my experience that I like to share with you. Thank you for watching and happy listening.
Next one is, it's called Kiss of Life. And let's hear some bass. Something heavenly came in from above. He led me to you. He led me to you. He built the bridge to your heart all the way. How many times I left inside? When I lay eyes on you, hey, you let me burn. You wrap me up in the color of love. You gave me the kiss of life, kiss of life. on the bass, Mr. Porigoe Keisuke-san. On the guitar, Oruma Yosuke-san.